Clash has been through so many controversies, but it somehow still has a 4.5 star on Google Play. But that's not what I'm interested in. Today, I'm interested in looking at the 1-star reviews for Clash. Let's see what everybody is complaining about. So we'll go ahead and go to the ratings and then sort them by 1 star. Will Welter says, of January 4th of this year, not that long ago, okay, this game is massively unfair. The game purposely makes you lose or it's full of cheaters. Listen, I'm not going to say I've never encountered a cheater because I can't know, but I've played this game for probably thousands of hours at this point, and frankly, I don't think I've ever seen a person and thought, that guy's cheating. Using the exact same strategy with the exact same level cards, my troops will be killed in one hit while the cards I use will barely damage who I played against. This sounds like bro is playing bots and is just horrible at the game. I've recorded it so many times, I've watched it, played it back where the opponent doesn't have the required elixir to summon, but they do anyway a lot. I assume to make you think you need to pay money to advance more. It is gross. I can't say I've ever encountered this, but listen, there's that guy on Twitter who's like, Supercell, you didn't listen to me, and because you didn't listen to me, I am still abusing infinite elixir, and now I'm top 1 in the game again. So maybe he's right, you know. Spiky Love says, horrible game. Unless you spend money, you can't win or earn anything. Can't win or earn anything. That's a little bit of a stretch, but the game is pay to win, bro. Listen, the game is pay to win. We all know that, okay? We all know what we signed up for. The game is pay to win. Also, other players pay and can summon faster. I don't know what that means. And also, you place your things down and they attack other things than what you want them to. Bro just has utterly no idea how the game works, and that's unfortunate. If you have a stronger character, how the hell does a weaker beat them? Would not recommend to anyone and would never spend money on this. I don't think dude made it out of Goblin Stadium, so he's got no idea what he's talking about. Listen, not a Supercell defender, okay? By any means, trust me, this game is cooked, but I don't think if you have a stronger character, how the hell does weaker beat them? That's just, we could do a little better on our criticism, okay? Moyan Taylor says, game isn't balanced as a whole between champions, evos, and card level itself. You're constantly just hoping for a good queue and not someone who out-levels you in every way. Cards don't matter if you're good to a point, but once you get to that point, it feels like eating bricks. The only way to progress is to accumulate cards for a year or buy the all too convenient card packs. Clan Wars suck too. Just going against cards and towers 3 to 4 levels higher on average than my highest every game. No balance. Listen, this might be the most fair review that we've seen so far. If you were going to leave a 1-star review criticizing Clash Royale, I think this is the perfect review. True, the game is not balanced as a whole. Lots of shit is broken. Between champions, evos, and card levels, you are basically always outmatched unless you are a fully maxed deck with all of the trimmings. You know, you've got the evos and the heroes. Like, then, sure, you could have an even playing field and skill is what matters. But up until that point, bro, the game is not skillful. It's really a dice roll whether or not you queue against someone who drastically outmatches you with their cards and their evos and their champions and their heroes. Now he doesn't even include heroes in this. I mean, if you're someone who has like 1 evo and you face someone with 2 evos, 2 heroes, and all of their cards are over leveled, I mean, what can you possibly do to win? Almost nothing, no matter how good you are. All right, Xavier Combs says, I thought I would stick with this game through the thick and thin, but at this rate, I'm gonna uninstall it very soon, but not yet. I feel the game is becoming too complicated for a casual player, and it is no longer fun, as if you're not playing a meta deck you paid $200 to max out, it's impossible to get anywhere. If they revise the leveling system and remove heroes, maybe I'll come back, but I'm really not motivated to play anymore. Listen, Xavier, I hear you out, okay? I agree with some of what you said here, but I also disagree with a lot of it. I also have stayed with this game through a lot of stuff. I've left and come back and left and come back. But I don't think the game is too complicated. It's fairly straightforward still. There's a lot of cards to learn, but I mean, that's just kind of the nature of a game like this. You know, Overwatch, which I have 2,000 hours in or something like that, is complicated to learn if you're a new player because you have to learn what everyone does and how their individual abilities interact with each other. League of Legends is the same, Dota's the same, Valorant's the same. Anything with heroes, and a lot of them, is going to cause a situation where you have to learn what everybody does and how they do it and why they do it, right? And Clash is no different, unfortunately. So maybe that sort of gate keeps it from casual players, but I don't really think so. Meta deck thing, bro, I've climbed from when I rejoined the game, right? A couple of months ago, maybe like 5 at most. I have climbed from like 5,000 trophies to 10k trophies in that time, never once playing a meta deck, and certainly not having a max deck. If you're good at the game, you can certainly climb without those things. It's just really difficult. And getting my first Evo that fit in my deck and stuff made a dramatic difference, but I didn't pay for those things. I just grinded to get them. So I don't think it's impossible to get anywhere, but it's definitely not going to be easy, okay? If they revise the leveling system and remove heroes, maybe I'll come back, but I'm not motivated to play anymore. Listen, if you're not having fun, quit the game, 100%. Tavin Poly. The game is great, except when it's not. Isn't that true of all things, Tavin? Come on, maybe we could do a little better. Making the game easier for new players is a great goal, but combining it with zero compensation for those who are already max level or close, while simultaneously removing one of the most important resources for late game players, a shot to the gut. It's also now more straightforward to pay to win, with gems being able to be converted straight into cards. It makes it harder to be a casual player. Make past $3.99, bring back books. Listen, I don't know how I feel about the books being gone. I know the game is definitely more pay to win now that you can just literally pay to upgrade all of your cards. That makes sense. I agree with that. But I think this guy's coming from a perspective that truthfully I can't really speak on very well, because I've never been close to max level, even nowhere close to max level. I have 2 level 15 cards and they're lightning and arrows, bro. Most of my cards are level 13 or less. I have a very limited number of cards I can even play in the, at 10k trophies right now. It's truly a battle against all odds to climb right now, where people are coming in with level 16 cards, with 2 heroes, 2 evos, playing meta decks and stuff. I am getting curb stomped every single time I play, and it has taken a lot of the enjoyment out of the game for me. I will say, now that I've reached this trophy range, I wanted to get into this arena so bad. And now that I'm here, the game's not even fun because I am so unbelievably outmatched. I would say at least 90% of my games, I face someone who has a higher King Tower level than me, because there's almost no level 14 players at 10k trophies, really. There's very few, especially as soon as you gain any trophies. Like, I get into about like 10,100 trophies and stop seeing level 14 people altogether completely. So while I can't 100% agree with all of this, because I'm not been in this position, I feel like we are cut from the same cloth, me and you, Tab and Polly. Dave Booze. Game was fun, but very predictable. I don't think you've played very much then. When you get close to leveling up, you lose about 5 matches to bring you back down. I don't believe in the matchmaking. Maybe there's engagement-based matchmaking in Clash, but I don't know. To some degree there is, actually, now that I think about it, because if you lose a lot of games, you'll start facing bots. But you can lose it to the bots if you don't play decently still. Compete against people more than double your castle level, bro. Okay. Unevenly matched a lot. People that pay real money to play to get an advantage. I played when it first came out and it was the same, so I deleted it. I downloaded it again and it never changed. Bro, they are raking in millions of dollars. Why would they change anything about what they're doing? They are farming people, okay? They are farming people for all their money and all of their credit card money, okay? They are absolutely raking in the cash. Why would they change anything about what they're doing? Joe Ang, to be honest, this is the best mobile real-time strategy game. Unfortunately, Supercell sold out is a better name for them, honestly. Supercell has sold out and implemented thoughtless monetization features which make progression pointless by constantly moving the finish line. You better bet there will be a level 17, 18, 19, 20, etc. The level cap increase doesn't even come with new exciting features. It's literally just the same thing, but 1 level higher. TLDR, fun to play, but don't waste your money. Listen, Joang, I agree 100%, okay? I think Clash Royale is truly a spectacular game. If I could play only level 11 with no progression, give me every card, everybody's playing level 11, and we all just play the game, and there's like an elo system, I would play that game all day long, because I love the strategy of Clash. It is unbelievably fun, and there's nothing else like it, unfortunately. There are no other games like Clash, not even like on PC alone or mobile or anything. You cannot find a Clash competitor. They have cornered this market and no one has made a game worthy of standing up to Clash Royale. Unfortunately, though, like this guy had said, the monetization of Clash, the pay to win nature, just makes it completely unfun to play a lot of the time. You'll be level set. There will be a level 17, 18, 19, 20. I believe that also. Listen, as soon as they broke the first time, they were like, hey guys, we're actually adding another level, even though we said we wouldn't. Everybody should have realized right then and there, this will happen again, okay? There's no incentive not to. People think that they can boycott the game and make a difference, but the reality is Supercell doesn't need your money. They need the money of people like Jinxie. And even though Jinxie is leaving and it will hurt the game, he gave them a fuck ton of money before he left, okay? He said he's not going to play anymore, really. Well, guess what, dude? You just fucking maxed out nearly all of your cards before you left. They got exactly what they wanted from you. They got a whale to drop all the money in the world to make sure that they had a max level deck. And there will be so many other whales doing the exact same thing, making sure they get the best and brightest features as soon as they come out, the newest levels, to ensure that's what Supercell's really after. They're after the whale money, the people at the top. That's why they keep adding levels and don't add other stuff, because the people who spend the most money are already maxed, and they will spend more money to stay maxed. So I'm sure we'll see more levels, and it just is what it is. Joe Cassidy. This is actually a pretty cool game. Agreed, Joe. Great way to kill a little time here and there. I'd say it's more than that. I'd say you can get really into this game and really try to get good at it and have a lot of fun doing so. The reason for the low rating, however, is the recent changes to the game. Over the past few months, I've spent far more than I should have to upgrade my deck, but with the recent change that basically negated everything I spent. Which is fine, but I will never spend another cent on this game. Overall, I recommend playing, but do not spend any money since it's likely to just be wasted down the road. Very fair take, Joe Cassidy, honestly. I would agree with you. I would agree 100%. Don't spend money on this game. Do not spend money on Clash Royale. There's so many better things to do with your time. I can understand getting the pass or whatever. It at least keeps you competitive. But the really difficult thing with Clash that I feel like most people have a hard time with, right, is that it is pay to win. Everybody knows it, but people have a hard time accepting that. It's really easy to say a game is pay to win, but to really internalize that and think about that and realize it is another thing entirely, right? Because you're basically saying to yourself, unless I spend money, I will always be at a disadvantage, which of course, that's what pay to win means. But feeling that disadvantage feels horrible most of the time, and people can't rationalize that part away. When you lose a game and someone's higher level than you, or they have heroes and you don't, it shouldn't bother you at all because they had a clearly unfair advantage and spent money to get it, right? That's the whole pay to win aspect. But somehow we all still feel terrible when that happens. It feels unfair, even though we agreed to the system, right? So I think the game is a lot more fun whenever you just accept, yes, it's pay to win. And anytime I lose and somebody else has higher level cards, they've spent money on heroes, they have more evos or whatever, it's not my fault that I lost. The problem is we try to take accountability for our actions, generally speaking, especially in games, right? If you lose a game, you want it to feel like it's your fault you lost, because you also want it to feel like it's your fault for winning, right? You want to feel, responsible for the win when the win happens. And if you take away the fault for the loss, it kind of takes away the fault for the win as well, I feel like. And that's why people sort of have that cognitive dissonance around. They know it's free to play, but they still get so upset about it. It's because they want to feel like they're in control of their position in the game. Because it doesn't feel good to cheapen your wins when you're like, oh, I was over leveled, right? It never feels good. People will meme, and maybe to some toxic players, they'll spam emotes whenever they win and they're over leveled. But at least for me, when I win against somebody who's level 12, right, and I'm level 14, I just feel bad. It's like, you never stood a chance. I can like slack off and play horribly and still crush you simply because I've been playing longer, right? Or I've spent more time playing. That doesn't feel good. But in the same token, it doesn't feel good to lose. It doesn't feel good to be the level 12 player either. And if we accept that losing as a level 12 against a level 14 isn't the level 12's fault, we also have to accept that winning as a level 14 against the level 12, it's not really the level 14's fault. You know, they just spent more money or played longer. And that's the truth of it. And that's unfortunate. Okay, let's do one more and then we'll be done. So I think we're all getting the gist, right? Jack Swick. I've been playing this game for 9 years and have watched it fall from incredible to a money-grabbing free-to-play game that makes it impossible to progress without spending money. Every time you think you can win, the game throws you in a match with someone who either directly counters your deck or has cards that are higher level than you. And don't even get me started on level 16 in heroes. If you're thinking about installing this game, let me save you the headache and money. Don't. I don't know. I think you can still have a lot of fun on Clash. I think there's potential to have fun in this game, but don't spend money. Don't assume that you are going to win every match or that it will be fair. And I don't think that the matchmaking is rigged like Jake is claiming here, but maybe it is. And that's all the more reason not to feel bad when you lose or feel good when you win. And that kind of sucks, right? If we can't feel bad when we lose and we can't feel good when we win, what's the point of even playing? And I think we all just kind of play because there's those occasional good matches where it's like you're even leveled, you have the same number of evos, you have the same level of, you know, cards and towers and everything lines up perfectly and it's a fair match. Those few moments where you get a fair match, Clash is truly one of the most fun games ever, but that happens so rarely that I understand why everybody is downvoting it or giving it 1 stars recently, you know? It makes sense. It makes sense.